running the piece first out because engine 1 or engine 2 have been continually breaking down. So engine 5 has to stay in service. And in fact, it's going in for a yearly PM. Actually, I shouldn't say yearly, semi-annual. It's going in Wednesday for the PM on it. Have it serviced, have the pump done on it, so we need to keep it in service. We just cannot be without it. So that's my big capital item is the replacement of engine 5.
Chief, you want to touch on the time frame? I know we
Yeah.
authorized the vehicle in November, and now we're here for another one, but I think the timing is important.
Yeah, so right now, we just got word on Thursday, we believe, and again, I cannot confirm it, but through the vendor, it looks like the pumper that was approved in November does have a build number. So that means it's somewhere just starting the process. So whether they're making the cab or the cab is made and it's starting to move, it's not in the assembly line yet. We're still another 3-4 months out, potentially maybe 5. If we go through with this one here and it passes, we won't see this until 2025. We're still 6 to 12 months once we get the approval. What we're running into is we're looking, as I stated 6 months ago, to do stock pumpers, which means they're really not custom. But a lot of other fire departments across the United States are doing the same because of cost factor and turnaround time. So the process to get on the list is very difficult. You really got to be quick. If it passes, you got to be right with your vendor to try to get on that list. Unfortunately, we didn't make the list until December, right? End of December, we were able to get on the list for the pumper to replace engine 3. So we're looking at least another 8 months before, possibly 12 months before you would see this piece come in the door. So sometime in
Delivery December 2025.
the delivery of this, if it was approved, would be
I'm talking about the previous one.
the engine 3. I'm hoping by end of summer. Knock on wood if everything goes well. This year.
24.
Yes,
So this would be delivery when?
25.
sometime in 2025,
This one's about a year.
about a year out. Yes,
So it depends too, because they're stock units, they only make X amount, with, each chassis, motors, and,
right.
so to find one that really kind of fits our needs. It might be, fresh off the assembly where we can jump right on it. It might be something that we have to wait an extra 3, 4, 5 months.
Right.
Depending on what they have coming out for stock pieces.
I don't see any. What do we expect them for life on these?
15 to 18 years
Okay,
is the average.
so because I don't see anything coming forward.
As far as,
So I look at future years.
oh, no, there's small stuff coming forward after that, like ambulance replacement and things like that. Yes, yep. We have the 10-year capital plan.
How safe is this pumper?
It's safe enough now. We're doing maintenance and PM on it to keep it on the road because we have to.
I mean, I'm looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
And it looks like its time has come.
I will be honest with you, it is at the end of life. As stated by the NFPA standards, what's governed how we build our apparatus. Technically, this truck is over 25 years old and should not even be on the road. But we have no choice.
Right.
It's been running first out of the South Station because engine 1 or.
So this is first due for one of the busiest parts of town.
Yes.
And one of the oldest parts of town, I assume.
Yes.
Are we talking about a purchase of something called a Pierce pumper?
Yes,
Line 9 is missing, which is funding. It goes from 8 to 10. I think line 9 would be funding on this schedule.
I don't, you're right, but I don't determine funding. That comes from you folks.
Yeah, we're looking at borrowing for this.
So funding is borrowing.
I don't.
Actually, that's how it's listed in the chart.
But I'm not gonna work for you. Maybe put it in self spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay, spreadsheet. We have worksheets. I know what you're looking at.
That's what I'm looking at.
My point is, these are required to be signed and they have to be complete. Spreadsheet is not operating. If somebody came in and did an audit, we could be
I can sign like I did last time in front of you.
All I'm saying is if somebody came in and did an audit,
Mhm.
I'm the chairman, I would be cited as not following
Mhm.
the proper format, which should have a funding line on this.
Okay,
That's
I
my
took
point.
I took the funding line out. Because I thought the funding was,
Yeah, for
For our
finance committee,
purposes.
I can see where, you know, you want to know how it's being funded, but the people that are submitting these to the departments, they don't know how they're gonna
No,
be.
I
It's up to
understand,
us to put that in, yeah, but it is by borrowing. We can make sure that we amend that.
Any other questions on the,
motion to approve.
have a second?
Capital.
Yeah, I second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
I didn't,
John said it. I also.
John, I didn't hear. You didn't make a motion, did you?
No, I made a motion.
No, you made the motion for
For
capital.
capital, for
Oh,
capital.
but-
For-
Finance.
Yes, I'm fine.
Which one? John?
Was it a capital vote or?
This was, but,
We were having a capital vote.
right, I was asking if John can do the finance.
Right.
Right, so you made a motion for the capital.
I second the capital.
So, first, second, and it was a 5-0 vote to, by capital to approve.
Right, I just need the finance one.
So, Finance Committee has 4 members present, we have a quorum, the meeting is called to order, which we skipped over a few minutes ago. Is there a motion to recommend the purchase of the Pierce pumper? $1.1 funding source from borrowing. Second? Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So recommended. 4-0. We don't have a fifth one yet, do we?
Okay. We have 5.
We have 5. John's remote. I didn't actually vote.
Yep, he
Did
did
he
just.
say? Yeah, 5-0 recommended.
Six, right? 6 people. For finance.
All right, I'll make it present. 6, all 6 of them, 6-0. Good catch.
Okay, chief, next.
Excellent. The second item is the HVAC, the mini splits for the station. I believe that is well under the capital, but we still have to talk about it tonight. What we're looking to do is add additional mini split slash AC slash heat units on the westerly side of the building. Currently, the systems that we have now do not keep up with it at the time. Captain Provost can contest this. It's very, very cold in there. The heating system cannot keep up. And in the summertime, we're forced to make makeshift air conditioners. We put cardboard in the windows with the little floor models to try to keep that area warm, cool for the summer months. So we're looking at to do mini splits. We've gotten 3 quotes, and the number presented to you falls in line with the quotes, the mini splits for that side of the building.
So these mini splits gonna replace the rest of the system?
On that side.
Just on that side?
Just on that side, yes. Would you, and I apologize, it was before my time coming in as chief. Dennis can help me out with this. I believe, 2021 or 22, the new unit was put in for the second floor, up on the roof.
Correct.
Which does not operate the lower half.
Chief, is this just putting a Band-Aid on a bigger issue?
It's something we're gonna need to look at. We are in the process today. They viewed the station. We're in the process of doing our feasibility study, station assessment. So I'll know more once we get that back.
Captain Provost, you guys were working on the system last summer too, right? You guys were doing your little.
Yeah, so even the AC that we have in there right now, actually was, provided by, us as.
Right, and I think you guys were doing like duct work too. right?
Yeah.
And you guys it just stopped.
like the chief said, we have put cardboard in the windows for the exhaust for the AC. In the years past, we've actually, gone to filling coolers with ice, cutting a hole in it and putting a fan in the top of the, cooler. So, unfortunately, the way that the building was designed, that side of the building, because it's all brick,
Right.
just gets beaten by the sun and, even at night after the sun goes down, it's still, 80+ degrees.
Sorry, I'm not about it,
So,
Chris.
yeah.
And vice versa in the winter, it absorbs all the cold on that side and we can't do enough to keep it warm.
That's where the mini splits are going now.
Yes.
And Dennis, what's the other part that was done?
The upstairs. There was a condenser compressor put on the roof that provides heating and cooling for the upstairs. It's kind of an odd setup, Roland. But that's what had failed previously was the heating.
And was that doing heating and cooling?
Yes, they have heating and cooling upstairs.
Well,
That one, yeah.
From that condenser, yeah.
I think it's worth noting, I don't know if the board, I assume the board's aware that this station was not designed for Massachusetts. The station was designed for California. It was built by a California builder. My grandfather, who has been deceased since 1993, was on the building committee for this fire station. It was not built by a New Englander. That's why if you look, I know Chief Miller has pointed it out to me on several occasions, that fire station is built for California. It is not built for New England.
Who's doing the feasibility study?
It's out to bid right now. We're waiting for the RFPs to come back. We'll know by the end of April. They just did the tour today to see who's actually gonna bid on it. There was 9 vendors, different companies, architect companies that came out and toured the 3 facilities today.
Can you send me a copy of the RFP?
Sure.
I just want to know what it says.
Yeah,
Can I please get that as well?
actually, yeah, actually, Tina, if I give that to you, can you send out? Actually, you have a copy of it, Tina. Right? No worries. Yeah, I have it.
If you get some, make sure that the select board gets that, I think.
The select board, too.
Yeah, make sure we'd like to see that, right?
I'm curious who put it together.
I did. With outside help from another vendor. The person who did our station / staffing study assisted me with doing it. That's what they do. He did not bid on it. He can't bid on it, but he assisted. And then we sent it off to legal for verification through Dennis. So I did work with legal on it as well too.
Do you go through the state contracts?
Yes, we have to.
You post them on combines?
Yes, yep,
So the bids are on combines
yeah.
anyway.
The bid's out. Yeah, we posted it in the newspaper and then we get it.
It's just a third. He's not getting bids.
It's not getting big.
He's either getting qualification statements or he's getting a fee proposal, which is professional services, not a
Correct.
bid.
Correct. The request for proposal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that, the request for proposal is posted on combines
Yes,
as
it
well?
is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it had to go on Combine and it had to go in the local paper. So again, through the attorney, we worked through all that.
I'll entertain a motion on the mini split.
Motion to approve the mini splits, please.
Second.
It's under
It's
50,000. We
under
don't have
50.
to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Who signed them?
We had 3 different, actually 4 different vendors to be honest with you. They were all HVAC specialists, even up to Mass Save came in as well too. All done professionally.
So for this $23,000 item, is this funding source free cash?
Yes,
So for the finance committee, motion to recommend $23,247 for the heating and cooling system as described, from free cash.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So recommended 6-0.
You guys are doing a great job. You guys are working with the bear, I mean, you guys have the bare minimum. Every single one of your members of the department, I think, at least on my part, should be commended, but for working with what you have within the equipment. And I think clearly inadequate stations. So you guys are doing a hell of a job.
All I have.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Chief, quick update on the ladder.
It's in Pennsylvania. It's, as of Thursday, it was being evaluated by the engineers. I have not heard back yet this week. I'll reach out, but as I know, Thursday it was down in Pennsylvania being evaluated.
Conflicting information here.
Doesn't want the rest of us.
We
Please,
actually have,
thanks.
yeah, police next. Jesse, do you want to- Perfect, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Great start.
Okay, so I had talked about this last year, getting the fleet stuff moved to the spring, be it Springtown meeting or our operating budget, due to how police vehicles need to be ordered to actually get what we want, as opposed to dealing with whatever is left over at the end of the year, or having to encumber the money and deal with the July 1st increases with November money. So right now, for example, our vendor that we use, it's all the state bid list. The ordering window just closed last week for the 2025 model year Ford Explorer police car. There is no 2024. So the order they put in now are the vehicles that will land in August, September of this year. They ordered what they ordered. That's it. There's no more of those. So if we were to do this in the fall, we'd be ordering kind of on a whim of hoping something was left over, or ultimately waiting to go on the spring order, and then there's price increases July 1st, and so that vicious cycle continues. The one thing of interesting note is, I'm sure you don't have the old paperwork, but when I did my budget presentation, I had given a fleet inventory. It was the last page of it, and this was from the beginning of March. I gave the updated one with updated mileage as of today, just to show that now that we're near full staffing, we have so many young officers, and they're out putting mileage on the cars. They're putting mileage on the cars. I have some cars that put 4,000 or 5,000 miles on in the past 8 weeks. So it's the highlight here, the 2 detail cars. We're hoping that we can trade one in and get a small credit, and the other one we could has slightly lower mileage. At one point in its life was an auxiliary vehicle that could maybe go to another town department, get repurposed, and then we'll move our 17 and 18 model year cars over to there. The very bottom, you'll see in red, a little interesting note, the average age of the vehicles in our fleet right now is 5 years old. It's 2019, with an average of 45,000 miles. So that's an average. You know, somebody's getting in a newer car with 2,500 miles on it. Somebody's getting an older car with 80,000 miles on it, but that's about the average. I'd say we're doing pretty good, but we've got to stay on top of it. We have a large fleet, and keeping the replacements going. I really, you know, I could have done 3 cars this year. Like car 408's got over 80,000 miles, and by the time the year's up, that's gonna be over 100,000. But I know next year is gonna be a 3 vehicle year.
What's the repair record like?
Oh, bad. On the Fords, it's bad. There's just a lot of,
Junk?
yeah.
Okay.
We have 2 cars right now that from the manifold back
Be buying them.
are exhausted. So here's the interesting thing. The Chevy Tahoe, everyone that has it as a police vehicle has been happy with it. However, here's the problem. Last year, 2023 was the cheapest vehicle in the state bid list, 40,000. It's not green, and I know we're not a green energy community. It's not green energy. It's not compliant because it's a V8. This year, they raised the price 30%. I don't know why they allowed Chevy to do that, but now instead of the base price for the car being 40 and change, it's 53,000 for the police car. So I can't justify adding, the Explorer jumped up to 45 and change, but 16,000 for two of them, it's just, we're not gonna spend that. I'd rather buy a warranty if we need to try to offset some of it, but some of it just comes with, it's the stuff that it's putting out is. But they're all, every vendor is, the Chrysler and Dodges are not much better, and the Chevy you're forced to the Tahoe with a huge price increase this year. Last year it was the vehicle to buy, it was a steal, but they ran out of them. I tried to grab one with the fall money and they were gone.
The two vehicles on this capital request are 2025 Ford.
They're
Police
Ford,
vehicles, gas
the black Ford Explorers you see out front here, they're two Ford regular police cars,
2025 Ford gas engines.
gas engines.
That's what this is for.
Yeah, the hybrid's $6,500 more and they're not building them.
But these are gas engines.
Gas.
2025.
Gas, naturally, normal, regular gas vehicles, yeah. They do qualify as a green community. If we ever went that route, they do qualify for being a V6, so. Our entire fleet actually qualifies. So that's about the gist of it. I asked for a little less than you'll see that quote. That's assuming I need all new equipment. I'm hoping I can transfer over some radars, things like that are a little pricey, little trading credit. What's not included here is computers, a new computer for each car. Again, I'm hoping some cost savings, some equipment transfer, and scrounge what's left to make a computer work. If I need to replace the tablet, because
And
I was looking at the list, it's like, it's $45,000 per car and $25,000.
Yeah. It used to be, when I started building the cars, it was 28,000 for the Ford Explorer, and the equipment for a fully marked car was about 17,000. So you could do the whole thing for about 45.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to do cabinet. Now you're paying almost double it's 2 for 1
Yeah.
from what it was in 2018 when I started running fleet. Crazy.
delivery will be,
So they're estimating these vehicles will land in August, September. So from the time it lands, it's usually another 2 to 3 months till we get it. So it'll be fall. We should see these two in the fall,
so,
Fall of this year?
fall of this year, 6 months from now.
so in my notes, I can put October.
I think that's a safe bet. They could show up a few weeks before that, or they could show up a few weeks after that. Kind of just depends if the train rolls in with 200 Ford Explorers on it. Everyone wants their car at the same time. It gets backlogged.
Not if it's coming over the New Jersey Bridge. So line 9, funding would be free cash.
Yes. Virgin, New Jersey.
Any other comments or questions from the finance committee members? Motion to recommend $142,000 from free cash for the 2025 Ford gas engine police vehicles.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Recommend 6-0.
Then a motion capital,
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Can we talk about the warrant articles or no? Does that have to be next week?
Actually, we're not on the agenda. I think we did we can. Yeah, talk about them if they're not the warrant articles.
I think John would want them on the,
It'll have to be when you and I talked earlier. Be next week.
It's gonna be like deja vu, see me every Monday.
Which warrant articles are you referring to?
We have two, we have another revisit of the civil service issue, and we have a parking bylaw, commercial vehicle parking bylaw that legal just finally got back to us. There's no finance implication to them.
Right, is there a public hearing on any one of those, one or both of them?
not a public, the select board will be hearing, will be discussing both of them. They're on the warrant, but that's the extent of it, John. It's not going before any other board or committee.
So there is no
The select board,
public hearing,
you know.
but there's no funding either, so the charter says if there isn't some other board that has a public hearing and there's no financing, then finance committee doesn't have any vote. but there has to be another public hearing by another board.
Yeah.
There isn't?
No, so this is easy to do it through.
We can't do it tonight though, because it's not on the agenda. Sorry.
Isn't the board of selectmen gonna have a public hearing?
Will be a public hearing. I mean, there'll be a discussion, but, I think the intent of the finance committee is to, you know, to give people an opportunity to come in and address it if somebody did have it on the agenda. I think it's appropriate. Yeah.
The charter and the bylaws are clear. It says public hearing, so I don't want to violate that. If somebody else didn't have an actual public hearing, I don't want to be responsible for not having.
That one was worth a shot.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Hey, Jesse, you're up.
Just have a few items to cover tonight. The first of which being paving. This was originally proposed as additional paving for North Main Street. This was brought forth before bids were received. We did receive favorable bid amounts for both the original item, but also the ad alternate. So our intent with this is to do additional paving on roads that will be discussed and verified by the road committee. So our request is in the amount of 500,000 to fund additional paving throughout town as determined by the road committee.
That funding source is free cash.
What about the 200,000 that fiscal year 25 operating?
The 200,000 is what we anticipate to receive for our operating budget. Similar to the 500,000 that we're requesting, we would anticipate rolling that in as well.
So would your request actually for 700,000?
No, the 200's in the operating budget, so it's a part of his budget submittal, which has already been heard and approved.
Okay.
So contracted, paving.
Okay.
A motion?
Sure.
Guess I made a motion.
Fine.
I can say I have a motion in a second. Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
The next item we have is for the replacement of well number 11. This is underwater. Claire, this is phase 1 of 2. This will be the design and permitting for the replacement of existing wells at site number 11 on Renton Road. We've experienced failures at 3 of the 4 wells in this site, and we are looking to replace the existing wells. So they'll essentially be within the same zone within 100 feet of the existing. However, we'll have to put in replacement wells to get the source, to get the water that was receiving from this site.
Jesse, is this the one that was approved last fall?
This was, yeah.
Yeah, so if it looks familiar, it is. It somehow missed the motion. It was approved by both Capital, reviewed by Capital and Finance Committee back in November. And for whatever reason, it was missed, so we're bringing it back again now.
What caused the failure?
It's almost like the turbidity is rising, so it seems like
The screens, yeah?
everything's plugging up. Yeah, the screens are kind of deteriorating. We have this a similar issue, I'd
It's all
say,
gravel pack, right?
yes.
Yeah.
About 5 or 6 years ago, we had a failure at 11.4, which is why one of the 4 is not proposed for replacement. It failed previously, so that is a newer well. So we're only replacing the 3 others. Yeah, they slowly, right around the same time, they just started going out one by one, and yeah, the result was worse raw water quality coming in, additional treatment. spikes in turbidity, that type of thing.
And so this is the engineering part of this. So they haven't done any test holes yet.
Correct.
I'll entertain a motion. Second. Any questions or comments? So there are some gimmicks that, I shouldn't say that, that's not right. There are some techniques that are used to try to revitalize wells. I assume we've tried that.
Absolutely, yes. We do have these sources redeveloped, for example. Our well company had come in to try to salvage them, and it was not possible.
Okay. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Okay, the last item that I have for tonight is under sewer. This is sewer main replacement at the middle school. We're hoping to replace a failing sewer line. We've had some repeated issues in this area with blockages, things of that nature. We did camera the line. It appears that it's got a bit of a sag to it, yeah, so it's building up and it's been rather problematic, so we're looking to address that by replacing the line.
The whole line?
The portion that's failed, we are exploring other options,
What?
PVC. Yeah, right, it's, I don't know if it was the material that it was laid in or what caused it, but there is a method to it now.
So you're replacing 200 feet of it? That's what you're.
That's what we're approximating, yes. Yep. And again, we are exploring other options as well. We're gonna compare, so we have a rough idea of what this would cost. This is essentially worst case scenario, but we are exploring relocating a generator on site and replacing it in place as opposed to relocating as well.
Lost me on that one.
You lost me.
Oh, sorry.
We'll do what with the generator?
This is where the other shoe dropped.
Right, so it appears that there was a generator on site on that lateral, more than likely causing that sag to the pipe,
Ah,
so.
you left that part out.
That's the rest of the story.
That's, yes, yeah.
So we weren't too bright when we located the generator, is what you're really saying.
Yeah, I don't know the history behind it, but it's what we're dealing with now.
Okay, all right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you're gonna relocate the existing, we're not putting in a new generator.
Correct. We're exploring the option of relocating the generator. If that's not possible, this would cover relocating or rerouting the existing sewer main.
How old is the generator?
At the middle school, I don't have a number for you on that, but I can certainly find that information
It's
out.
not something that we put in 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, could be.
I
Done like 15, 20 years ago?
I don't know, John.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But they've probably been there since they remodeled that school, which is how many years ago?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it wasn't standard to put generators in at schools. But when there's a hurricane, the school's out. It's like, you don't put it, I think that generator came in when people started thinking, oh, we might use this as an emergency shelter.
Actually, that was our.
That was the goal.
And I think that was recent. I don't think that was 15 years ago.
So that would probably go back about 6, 7 years.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
It is backing up into the school, so obviously, it's happened multiple times, so obviously we have to address.
Oh, we gotta fix it.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
the thought is it might be cheaper to move the generator.
I agree.
And do it,
And just
you know,
fix the
as
pipe.
opposed to rerouting
Yeah.
the, you know. So.
Well, you should be able to just move, I mean, I haven't looked at the generator, but it seems to me like you could just move it, I hate to say it, 15 feet.
we are, yeah, so we're hoping to receive an estimate to relocate that as opposed to reroute the piping. Again, this is worst case scenario with a contingency built in. So if we're able to do that, absolutely.
How close is the generator to the building?
To the building itself, 15, 20 feet or so, I'd say.
I'm just thinking so if you're gonna reroute the pipe, you're
Yeah,
gonna move the generator. A lot easier.
yeah, agreed.
I got one other question. There's a grinder on that system, right, where it exits the school building.
I was gonna say, I believe
Yes,
it's
we
just
think
gravity.
it's because the pipe's settled, but could it be because the stuff getting stuck in a pipe?
Fully cambered it.
Right.
We did.
He's
we
got a
did camera
sag,
it,
It was
yes.
cleaned,
We
okay.
did camera it,
The
yes.
problem is he's got a sag, so
Okay.
it just sits there.
You know, man, got some junk down there too, and occasionally.
Yeah.
Clogs it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually you put a grinder before you have that, but.
Okay. All right. So did we take the vote?
You didn't take the vote.
We didn't take the vote, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I think I had a motion and a second.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 35,000 voted generated. Pretty good.
We'll hope for, good quantities to come in.
We check to see if Jack's here with us. Jack, can you hear us?
Yeah, I said,
Okay.
Oh, I think finance.
We already.
Oh, you already voted on it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a good meeting.
That's it?
You want to work on a schedule for us? So big stuff for our regular school committee. We've got some.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna do that?
I've been emailing them, so I have both school departments coming to finance next Monday. And then they would both be coming to Capitol, there's a holiday in between there, so town hall's not open. They would be doing the 22nd.
April 22nd.
Thanks.
Okay.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I guess we're adjourned. Our capital's adjourned.
Yeah, well,
Did everybody, finance committee get a chance to review the meeting minutes from number 25? March 25.
Kevin and I came up with one, Karen.
Any other changes?
Yeah, on Article 3, says Kepler Calamari made a motion to recommend.
Yeah.
Kevin made the motion.
We have a new relationship. We announce it now.
She was on there twice.
Lifestyle change.
You've made that change?
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes with the correction noted.
So move.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. 6-0. 5-0.
5-0. I didn't vote.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
When's our next finance committee meeting?
Next Monday,
What time?
5:30, because select
Everybody
board's
agrees?
not-
Motion to,
Is that finance committee open to adjourn? I'm sorry, John, were you adjourning
Yes.
yeah,
for finance?
finance
We're just talking about the
Were
next.
you going to have MIS,
tonight?
Not tonight.
oh, not tonight, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because I
Oh, I
know
didn't
we.
see it on the agenda.
Yeah, we missed them last time. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't an oversight again.
Yeah, Monday.
I'm assuming,
Next Monday.
yeah, we didn't do it because it was a trouble.
Sorry, I jumped in there.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting is adjourned at 5:56.
Wow. A record.
Yeah.